BAHAGHARI means rainbow in Filipino, and we are a national alliance of LGBTQIA+ Filipinos and an anti-imperialist organization. This month of June is Pride Month, and it is the time when members of the LGBT community celebrate our diversity, but it is also a time when we stand up against injustice and resist the trampling of our rights. Pride, until today, continues to be a resistance, and it continues to be a protest. As members of the LGBT community in the Philippines, on top of discrimination and gender-based violence, we face the national struggles that are being faced by Filipinos in a country that is free in name, but whose politics, economy, and culture are beholden to the interests of imperialist powers, particularly the United States. In fact, in its bid for super profits and global dominance, the US has made the Philippines its longtime client state. And by that, we mean that we have been turned into their dumping site for excess products, a source for cheap raw materials and cheap labor, and a strategic military base and gateway to the rest of Asia. The Philippines is literally militarized by the United States. And in this militarization that we see until today, it is Filipino women, children, and the LGBT that are disproportionately affected. Only 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, we have seen how Jennifer Laude, a Filipino transgender woman, was denied justice when her killer, Joseph Scott Pemberton, a U.S. Marine, was granted pardon by no less than President Rodrigo Duterte. And this is not an isolated case. In 2005, we have seen Nicole, not her true name, who was raped by U.S. soldiers. None of them were put to justice. In 2008, Rowena Wahid from Mindanao was shot by U.S. soldiers during a military operation in Sulu. Her fellow villager, a pregnant woman, was killed. Her husband was killed. Her children, aged 4 and 9 years old, were killed. None of the U.S. soldiers involved were put to justice. In 2009, Vanessa, not her true name, was raped by a U.S. soldier in Makati. She opted not to press charges in fear of suffering the same fate as Nicole, who was publicly scrutinized and denied justice. And finally, in 2014, we have seen the case of Jennifer Laude, who was killed by a U.S. Marine. Because of the Visiting Forces Agreement, Pemberton was not put in jail and instead was placed in a comfortable special facility where no one else can enter except U.S. soldiers and select Philippine officials. We have seen that none of these soldiers who have committed crimes to Filipinos have ever seen justice. And until now, in only 2 months ago, we have seen the Balikatan exercise continue, the biggest and most expanded version yet. And no doubt, in this global stage that we see, where militarization has gone rampant and these global wars for profit are here, there are no doubts to us, and we have no illusions that the abuses against Filipinos, most especially women, children, and the LGBT, will only worsen.